Here's another headline I just loved. Ready? Egypt's Islamists win 75% of parliament. This is getting good. In the first election since the ouster of Hosni Mubarak, Islamists won big. Their reward? They get to rewrite Egypt's new constitution. And it's going to be so totally moderate, you're not even going to be recognizing it. It's going to be so totally friendly to non-Muslim nations like Israel or America. You know, Satan, the little Satan, the great Satan, that stuff. It's going to be great. This is exactly what you told your friends about. You told your friends that this would happen. And most likely, your friends ridiculed you. Here's what they said about me when I told you this. Quote, when Beck rants about the caliphate taking over the Middle East from Morocco to the Philippines and invents the connections between caliphate promoters and the American left, he brings to mind no one such much as a Robert Welch and the John Birch Society. He's marginalizing himself just as his predecessors did back in the early 1960s. Cuckoo! Rich Lowry defended his National Review pal, saying, a well-deserved shot at Glenn Beck's latest wild theorizing. Oh, man. Oh, man, you guys are so right. You and Bill Kristol, oh, and all of the prominent conservative think tanks, oh, they were so important back about 1978. They were great. Remember when they all said that the Muslim Brotherhood doesn't even want power right now? They said, no, the Muslim Brotherhood, they don't want power. And how true it is. That's why they only took 45% of the political power seats. The other group that's even more radical, yeah, they took 26%. So let's look at it, okay? That means the glass is only 3/4 empty or full or something. It's bad, bad. Only 3/4 of the ruling class now wants Sharia law. But you have, look at this, you have all of this that doesn't want to, kill a woman for being outside without a man. All of this. Sure, these do. This doesn't. How great is that? What could possibly go wrong? Now, the radicals who want to go out and kill Israel and the United States, and whose main goal is to reestablish the Muslim caliphate, grab 75% of the power in Egypt. That reminds me, by the way, an anniversary is coming up, the 1-year anniversary right around the corner. We're going to throw an anniversary party for the Arab Spring on September 1st. And Billy Kristol, that's one you don't want to miss. I know all the networks are probably going to be hosting celebrations. They will, considering what an obvious success it really is. And here at GBTV, we're going to highlight just how far freedom has come to the Middle East since that glorious democratic uprising. So, Billy boy, may I make a recommendation here? I'd like you to dust off that powdered suit because it looked nice back then. It looks nice today. It does. And this is going to be quite the anniversary celebration. Nothing but positives in the Middle East. Oh, like this one. The news that Iraq is slipping back into authoritarianism again. Who would have seen that one coming? Tune in tonight at 7 p.m. for actual journalists that actually will tell you what's really going on. The real news from the Blaze will be going in depth on what's happening in Iraq. Oh, wait. One more thing. And all those connections to the American left that you were mocking. Okay, this one I found in the LA Times this weekend. This is good. And here's the actual report here. The LA Times this weekend said, quote, Human Rights Watch, do we have it? Okay, Human Rights Watch, I've got it here someplace. Human Rights Watch has urged the West to accept the new reality that Islamist parties are rising, the political powers in the Arab nations, and, quote, The international community must come to terms with political Islam when it represents a majority preference. Islamic parties are genuinely popular in much of the world. Oh. Well, if they're popular, if they want to stone homosexuals, who's got a problem with that? It's popular there. Not here, but there. We've got to come to terms and work together with them. Now, I was thinking about this, and I'm thinking, how open-minded, and especially from the people who are Human Rights Watch. They're watching out for the human rights. Okay, sure, stone homosexuals are women. But if it's popular, now that's a caveat I haven't thought of. But I'm looking at Human Rights Watch, and I'm thinking to myself, gee, Human Rights Watch. Where have I heard that before? And then I remembered, it's from George Soros. Yeah, you remember. Human Rights Watch, you remember the board member who pledged $100 million to the group over 10 years? It's this guy. Human Rights Watch. Is that you? Yeah. Huh. Now, let's recap. 1. Egypt is now in the hands of radical Islamists like the Muslim Brotherhood and Salafists, whatever that is. It's great. I love them. Remember, they're just a little more radical than the Muslim Brotherhood, okay? They both have established the caliphate and Sharia law, where, sure, you can stone a girl for showing her skin, but really, it's popular over there. The Muslim Brotherhood was established by Hassan al-Banna, who in 1928, in an attempt to restore the Muslim caliphate, is he going to come? He collapsed with the Ottoman Empire, and he thought, you know what we should do? We should restore it. Plus, prominent Muslim Brotherhood member al-Zawahiri, remember him? He summed up the Brotherhood's goals saying, quote, hey, if God wills such a state in a jihad against the West, we could lead the Islamic world. It could also rally the world's Muslims around it. Then history would make a new turn, God willing, in the opposite direction against the empire of the United States and the world's Jewish government. Oh, man. Bill Kristol, thank you. You're on top of it. 2, let's go to this point. The American left continues to help them in any way they can. No. Woo-hoo. That's not happening. Oh, well, I mean, except for the Human Rights Watch thing, you know. That of course, that kind of looks bad, doesn't it? Here's a third thing. Demand an apology from your dim-witted friends who called the Arab Spring a glorious, wonderful, spontaneous uprising for freedom and mocked you for not popping the champagne cork when this was happening. You know, remember when they were raping that woman from CBS News? Remember? And it was glorious and it was peaceful? Yeah. And you were the crazy one, spontaneous. Make sure that you point out exactly what happened. This is a credibility point. You told them it would happen. Now, if your friends excuse it away at this point, if they don't recognize it, stop trying to convince them. They're never going to recognize anything that you tell them. This is now verifiable. It has happened. And just to add more fuel to the fire, Iran is vowing to block the Straits of Hormuz. They're sending ships, and so are we. We're sending a new aircraft carrier to stop them. And on top of it, Europe thinks that now is the time for those Iranian sanctions. No, not 7 years ago, but now. And in my favorite headline of the day, the media is now reporting the events in the Middle East are becoming, quote, unpredictable. No, only to dummies like Bill Kristol. He can't predict them because he's not looking at the facts. And neither is anyone else in the news. That's why you're here at GBTV, because you're getting the truth that people don't want to look at because it's hard. But if you ignore the truth long enough, it only gets harder to wake up. All right, that caliphate thing, that's going to be fantastic.